I want to talk about the Caleb Williams thing because Jayden Daniels and Caleb Williams are, whether you like it or not, going to be inextricably linked. And I have woken up today to a bunch of text messages and FaceTimes and videos. Kyle sent a video next to a Bears balloon. Like he called me last night. He's like, I don't want to do a victory lap after one game, but and I said, and then we started talking about Jayden Daniels, and I was like, I don't want to do a victory lap after like 4 incredible games. And he goes, well, he's had a nice little month. Like I think both sides are going to be moving the goalposts for a decade. Yeah. And like I'm big enough to admit that Caleb is not the dumpster fire that I controlled for in analyzing the decision. I thought that there's a 50% chance that the kid's lost. He's not lost. I don't think the offense until today looked like they set it up for him. Like, and part of that's playing the Panthers. But I was also hearing that yesterday he played like the game of his life. I thought he played really well, but people saying that are not watching the other games because he's done good things so far this year. Like if what he did yesterday is like, okay, we're going to be fine. There was enough evidence the first couple weeks to say, hey, we're going to be fine. Mm-hmm. I thought his toughness was on display in Houston. I thought at times the quick game has looked really good and on time when the timing is right. He's made a couple incredible throws on the run. He's also sailed some very easy balls that Jayden doesn't do, like as much. That's the one area where Jayden, on the 20-plus yard completions and incompletions, he's dotting people. And Caleb, I thought the one thing he'd do a little bit better coming in would just be, hitting those special plays. Mm-hmm. And I thought maybe the underneath stuff, like the timing, they came out of the second out of the half yesterday and went quick game. And that suited him very well. Like really well. And another thing that suits him well is moving the pocket. So they did that more. I was standing on the table for them to move the pocket last week. They come out and they move the pocket. Why not use his legs? But having said that, he is a rookie. And we just got done with Jayden, who plays nothing like a rookie. Yeah. This kid is still a rookie. The first throw of the game on an out is almost a pick six.
Yeah, it was going the other
so
way.
I'm not trying to ho-hum things. I've been very fair with this kid. I picked you guys to get in the playoffs on the strength of the defense. I thought eventually this guy comes along. We've said all year, if they figure out the quarterback position, they're one of 2 teams that can be scary. The other one, ironically, is Pittsburgh. And last night they took a step back. So another reason that Chicago fans are really excited this morning, I think from a long play standpoint, you can see this kid's going to be a good player in the NFL. Oh, yeah. Like, he's a franchise quarterback. And you know what I loved yesterday was hearing him bark at the offensive line, sounding like a fucking quarterback, yelling at these guys, taking command. I loved how tough he was at Houston. I talk about that. I think he said all the right things. So all the things that people were holding against him, his nails, a purse, crying after a game, that painted a picture of a guy who's a diva. That painted a picture of a guy who's soft. That painted a picture of a guy who might be a problem in the locker room. That would have never been the reason that I would have questioned making this pick. The reason I question making this pick is because not only is there the chance that he's lost, he's not, he can play, but there's also the chance that you don't even get the right one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so my question to Bears fans is, how good does Williams have to be on a macro level? And we're talking about narratives here. Right. How good does Williams have to be over the next decade if Jayden Daniels is the guy that you justified making the pick with? Because Jayden Daniels looks like, if we're going to look at that Williams game yesterday and say, yep, he's going to be good, then what are you saying about the Commanders tape?
Right.
Because, Williams is fun to watch right now. You can see the potential, but it's going to be a developing thing. And the schedule gets tougher. Mm-hmm. So I'm not trying to rain on your parade. I think you found a franchise quarterback. This is way more like a franchise quarterback than anything you've had in some time. But at the same time, there's a guy in Washington who is going to dictate what the narrative is to a degree over the long haul. And so, Caleb has not only got to be the franchise quarterback, you said it. We make this pick because we think he can be Mahomes. You got to see a Mahomes-like guy. And I don't mean he's got to be the best in the league, but I mean, you got to make multiple playoff runs with this guy. So the bar is high. This is a good start. As a team, I thought the offense improved. To say that Caleb played his best game is fair, but to say that all of a sudden I'm seeing things that I haven't seen the first month of the season that give me reason to believe, I don't think you've been watching. Mm-hmm. I think the offense improved as a whole. I think the run game got going. I think Swift got going. They moved the pocket. They went quick game out of the half. Does he want some balls back? Yeah, he almost threw 2 of them to J.C. Horn and one over the middle into double coverage. Mm-hmm. But I'm only splitting hairs because I woke up this morning to, like, the parade route. You know what I mean? Like, I hope the kid succeeds. I hope they pull up my Justin Fields takes last year and say, hey, you should have made the pick and you're wrong. I'm fine with that. That's not really my bag, college quarterbacking. This guy's pretty good, but he's got to be really good to keep pace with the guy in Washington. That's what's so fun about this thing. These guys coming in the league at the same time. We got our next narrative rivalry a little bit. Like,
exactly. And I want to take this opportunity to speak to the wonderful franchise of the Chicago Bears that I also play for, that also has alumni weekends. I want to see how I can possibly get on that email list because I would love
to have another alumni kind of thing.
Yeah, like I would love to be able to see Caleb Williams play and the current Bears. And
they said somebody in the chat said Daniels is older, and I'm not arguing with you, but in that case, then Bo Nix should look a lot better. And he looked good yesterday.
Right, does.
I also said that Big Cat texted me last night, and he was doing the thing, and I was like, Bo Nix made some nice throws too yesterday. So should we like? But they're not comparable because I'm honest, and what's honestly apparent to me is this kid's got a lot of talent that a lot of other quarterbacks don't have, including Bo Nix. And I could say the same thing on another echelon talking about the guy in Washington.
I think the parade in Chicago is more a feeling of relief that he's not a bust.
He's not a bust. Listen, there's a way that he ends up that way if you mismanage him. He's not that good where he's above being mismanaged. Listen, the first couple games of the season, I'm questioning Shane Waldron a great deal. This was a really good start for the offense as a whole. Like, it was malpractice at times. You know, and I'm not even talking about the offensive line because every rookie quarterback has to deal with protection issues. I wasn't going to cry him a river over that. But when the concepts look just kind of like willy-nilly and you're fucking it up at the goal line and you're not moving the pocket and you're not playing to his strengths and you're asking him to do too much, you're throwing the ball 50-something times in a game. Yesterday is the model. Can you do that against some of these better teams that you're going to play later in the season? And I would ask Jayden Daniels the same thing because they played some stinkers.
We'll find out next week in Baltimore.
We're definitely going to find out. And remember, last year, Baltimore made C.J. Stroud in game 1 look like human, right? Not the guy we see now. How much lead-in helps Jayden? Do you think like 5 games puts you in a position, 4 games puts you in a position where you're ready for that challenge?
At the very least, it puts the rest of your team in the position to believe in you. Like that offensive line, the way they talk about Jayden, like they're going to war for him.
They're going to war for him, and I'll tell you this.
Have to.
Cliff's going to find the matchups. That's one thing that's plagued Baltimore early in the season. We talked about it yesterday with Cincinnati. Of course, that's Burrow. But the quality of the throws this guy's making, there's no reason to believe if they get the matchups, they can score points on Baltimore. The question to me is like that defense is playing above themselves when Derrick Henry's running downhill and you got to tackle Lamar, who broke 6 tackles on a single play yesterday and hurdled a guy on another. Like, it's just a different speed. So I think this is going to be a great test for them. Good days for both quarterbacks.
Yes.
Amazing day, amazing month for one, and a really good game and a moment that you can build on for the other. Everybody wins if these guys are good.
Absolutely.
Everybody wins. So looking forward to it.
Just got to keep them healthy.
Yep.